yesterday, we saw Peter Obi in Plateau State because of this increasing insecurity, killings, and all that stuff. It's increasing, by the way, and it is concerning. Okay, more than 50 people were killed in a space of just 2 weeks in Plateau State, in Bokos, just in one single town, right? Similarly, in Benue State, these Fulani terrorists have been wreaking havoc. Same again in what do you call it again? In Borno State, right? ISWAP, which is the offshoot offspring of Boko Haram. They have been wreaking havoc, so including, which also includes the Nigerian army who have become their victims or among their victims. So we saw him at with the governor of Plateau State, and we also saw him with the victims of this recent attack, right? So I think there's a report that he was planning to go to Plateau State, to Benue State. You know, Benue has been in the news as well for the same reason. Fulani terrorist attack and killings, villages and all that ransacked, and tens of people have also been killed in the last 2 weeks. The last 6 months, by the way, in Benue State, they've witnessed another series of, they've witnessed a series of violent attacks where people have lost their lives. But somehow, it's never really the priority of the Nigerian media to keep reporting this. And that is why, people barely care, unfortunately. But their governor, Hyacinth, is that his name? Hyacinth Alia or something, right? Was now said to have issued, an order, call it an order. He has issued an order prohibiting anyone. He didn't mention names, so don't get it wrong. You may think this was a random social media post, but it's not. That person is a special advisor, also the press secretary, right, to the Benue State governor. Now, I want you to please pay attention to the wordings of this order, all right? So he said, notice regarding unscheduled visit to Benue State, he didn't put name. The governor of Benue State, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, which is to inform the public that he is not expecting any August visitor to the state today. He is currently engaged in high-profile meetings with key state actors to discuss critical issues affecting our state. Therefore, he strongly advises against any group or high-profile individual attempting to enter the state for any kind of visit that may generate political assemblies without the governor's consent. So he said, for anyone considering a visit to Benue State without governor's knowledge, it is imperative to reconsider such plans, as the safety and security of individuals in this regard cannot be guaranteed. Also, the public is to note that all individuals or groups intending to visit IDPs in Benue State must first seek and obtain written permission from Benue State Emergency Management Agency, right? So we urge security agents and the public to take note of this announcement and maintain peace and order in the states. Thank you for your understanding. So that was from the governor's press secretary. And everyone kind of believes that they just don't want him there. For those who felt like maybe he was pretending during your 2023 charade, others are beginning to notice that it's probably not a pretense. It is probably who he is, right? Visiting the downtrodden, mingling with the rich, and mingling with the poor, showing care, love, and all of that stuff, right? And politically, it seems like it is making them look bad, kind of, right? So therefore, Benue State, that has received not a single mention from Tinubu, despite the recent attacks and the killings, in the states, by the same dreaded the Fulani terrorist, so to say, now reject somebody who possibly genuinely cares, as So then the obedience themselves shared what was probably believed to be an alternative. Others said no, it's probably part of his plan as well. Somewhere in Lafia, Nasarawa State, where a market just experienced this fire incident or something like that. And it was there, talking about Toby, by the way. So from there, we're going to go to something else. Watch this.
haka yana da kyau mai taimako ne insha Allah kuma dan aljanna ne wannan mutum Inshallah. Yau ban tafiya. Inshallah.
Obi number one.
He's the one. That's the one. He's the one that pulled the car from the filling station and brought it out.
Abin da ya faru lokacin ana so da ina zaune a wuri ne ko ina da kara yi ma ya tashi a bayan karabuwa ba kashe ko da oga na da biyan mun guda uku ana kokarin kashe an kashe abun ma ya kare wutan ta fara ci shi ne an yi dubara yana zo na fita da mota
sai ka fi da shi. He said that while they were dumping the fuel, they saw that fire started under and they tried to quench it and it wasn't quenching, and he found out that should this thing explode, everybody including the filling station was going to be burned. So he jumped into the steering, started the car and pulled it out and then jumped out before the whole thing. So he saved the filling station and all the other. If not, everywhere would have burned. He said, let's go there so you can see something.
And that makes the government look bad. Do you understand? It makes them look bad that the people could mile around him like that, and they appears to be like them, and that is deceitful. The people in government are like, no, this guy is a billionaire, and why is he like pretending to actually be like, like the poor and all that? So it makes them look bad, sort of. And as destruction was averted en route where Obi was passing, something similar happened in somewhere in Enugu. Hang on, I think I have a name. Yeah, it's called the Ogu Onyama. You know the area, right? Just this afternoon, a tanker lost its own balance, or an accident happened, and then it spilled its contents. Luckily, the people were not really aware, or it didn't happen in the densely populated areas where you would have seen people scooping fuel. And as that does scenarios that we have seen many times on social media.
This is the truck that fell down. This is the truck, you can see. One of the compartments seems to be leaking and is flowing down like this. You can see it flowing down. This is the Enugu State Fire Service at work. The men of Enugu State Fire Service here are trying to control the situation. This is the tipper that the truck collided with. This is the tipper that the truck collided with and then fell off that place. Men at work. You can see Enugu State Fire Service at work trying to control this situation. A fallen tanker that is spilling petrol. Of course, you can see the petrol flowing down. One of the compartments seems,
another disaster averted. But talking about disaster, people destroying people, the former ruling party of Nigeria, that has now become the shadow of its former self, the former biggest political party in Africa, as they used to brag that they will rule and control Nigeria for the next 50 years. Then they started deteriorating from within. Power tussle, power struggle. They pressed the self-destruct button just when they were about to clock 12 years. Well, the whole center didn't break apart at once. It took them maybe another 5 years, where they spent 16 years in power. Then they lost it. Now losing it to the jihadist party, the party of strange bedfellows, where you have the Benue progressive of the Southwest, right? The, the jihadist called the CPC, the jihadist of the Sharia North. The career criminals, right? Plutocrats of the new PDP, led by the ancient Atiku, by the way. So they formed the strange bedfellow came together and they formed a group, but they called it Al-Qaeda People's Congress, APC, Ebekebe, right? So then the jihadists were the first to take power, to have power within that arrangement, the CPC. Next after that is now the Benue progressive of the Southwest Nigeria, led by the druggie, Tipnumbu. Unfortunately, it seems that any other group that joined them, hang on, I think they kicked them out. I wanted to say any other group in their association of past criminals, right, APC, at the time, would possibly be waiting to take over after the Colu's time. So here is how you will identify them. When the CPC guys were in power, right, they chased the Benue progressives away. They looted Nigeria enough that they established terrorism industry that became so commercialized. Then they lost power. Now, losing power means they are being replaced. However, the destruction of APC, Ebekebe, may just go the way of that of people destroying people. Because to APC, Ebekebe, they're just approaching their 10th year. So by that kind of like context, right, their self-destruct button has been pressed already, but they may have to struggle, push it for the next 6 years before everything scatters. Or maybe not. Because right now, the question would be, who are those that will then dislodge these career criminals like they did to people destroying people at the time? So that may beg, that may keep begging for answers, right? So to the PDP, they dropped from over 24 governors, right? As at, I think it was as at 2007, right? Down to 12 governors now. Is it 12 or 13? 21 governors for APC, Egbekebe. 1 governor, Abia, for Labour. 1 governor for AMPP in Kano. Then 1 governor for APGA in Anambra. So the remaining 12 states can be given to PDP. Within these 12 states, they're supposed to be PDP states. One of them, the governor, has been suspended, and there is likelihood that he won't come back. Now they are left with 11. Out of these 11, they have it, the rumor has it that 7 of them are, like strong mobilizers for Tifnumbu, even though they are in APC. So this afternoon, or before now, they talk of a coalition, oppositions coming together to form a coalition so that they can dislodge Tifnumbu. So people have been asking a lot of questions. What kind of coalition would it be that everybody would have to collapse their own structure into this new named party? And then you have to share how? Yeah, the answers are not really kind of like hard to get, okay? More than 99% of the opposition parties, let me say 99%, because I want to say Shiwore's party is probably the 1%. 99% of the opposition parties in Nigeria are the offshoot of the ruling party in Nigeria. Their job is just to sabotage any effort of trying to build anything at all that could, remove them from power or make them lose power. So that makes them compromised in the long run, sure you get, including people destroying people. So their governors came out today. Not all of them, I think. They came out today to say they won't be part of any coalition. And the guy who has been trying to be president too, his name is Bala Muhammad. The guy who said, every Fulani on the surface of this earth believes that Nigeria is their headquarters and they all have the same rights as anybody living in Nigeria. The same guy actually plans to be president of Nigeria, by the way. Bala Muhammad is the spokesperson for the PDP governors to tell all of them that they will have no coalition, right? He said other things too. Listen.
Protocol,
Distinguished members of the press, communique issued by the PDP Governors Forum after its fourth meeting held in Ibadan today, Monday, April 15, 2025. The PDP Governors Forum held its meeting here in Ibadan and resolved the following. 1. Noting the nationwide speculation about the possible merger with political parties, groups, and/or associations, the forum resolved that the PDP will not join any coalition or merger. However, the PDP, as a major opposition party, welcomes any party, persons, or groups that are willing to join it with a view to wresting power and enthroning good leadership in 2027. 2. The forum reiterates its position taken in Asaba on the issue of the National Secretary of the party, but in the wake of the Supreme Court judgment, the forum resolved to recommend that the Deputy National Secretary acts as a National Secretary pending the nomination and ratification of a substantive National Secretary on the Southeast Zone at NED. at its next meeting. 3. The forum reasserts our collective determination to avert the rape of our constitutional democracy, hence the decision of approaching the Supreme Court to give a clear-cut verdict on the interpretation, the provision of the law on the